Minecraft in the United States in one weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weekends. That's how bad it is right now.
Weird.
You can see families were more than willing to go to the box office to support something like the Minecraft movie, while Rachel Zegler's Snow White continues to plunge.
Literally the only person there. And do you not understand how humiliating this is? Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
Zegler is a loudmouth dope.
We're talking about ultra-far leftists, people who believe that men and women are a figment of your imagination, that your money is not your own, that your family is not your own, and that your country is not your own. That's what woke me.
Snow White, of course, famously played by the insufferable girl boss narcissist, who's just clinical at this point.
Now, there is no doubt about it that Snow White 2025 is considered by far one of the worst box office failures, not just with Disney, but also in the entire film history.
No, it's Hollywood, baby.
It doesn't need a prince to save her, and not surrounded by 7 weird people. Oh, okay, just CGI fictional goblins, I guess.
Well, we all basically knew that Snow White was going to be a massive failure at the box office because of Rachel Zegler's controversial...
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
You know, I don't need your business. You know what? Maybe Disney does. Maybe you're a tool, you're a pawn in this film. You didn't write it. You didn't direct it. You have nothing to do with the creation of Snow White. Right. You should shut up and do the job.
Chicken job.
What would you say to those who are just kind of overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it.
You can get down across. Hold on. Here. Hold on.
All right. Congrats, Rachel.
Rachel Zegler thought she was rewriting history. Instead, she may have just rewritten the manual on how to completely tank one of Disney's most iconic franchises. And while Disney's billion-dollar fairy tale remake was busy collapsing under its own weight, a movie about pixelated blocks, yes, the Minecraft movie, was out there casually demolishing box office records like a creeper sneaking up behind a newbie. This wasn't just a bad weekend for Disney. This was a full-blown pop culture reckoning. On one side, Snow White, a classic retelling pushed hard with modern messaging and a star who couldn't stop alienating the fanbase. On the other, Minecraft, a film critics laughed off as childish fluff. Until it exploded with a $300 million global opening. Let's break down exactly what happened here, and why audiences aren't just rejecting Disney's latest film. They're rejecting a pattern. Here's how the numbers broke down. On its opening Saturday alone, the Minecraft movie raked in a staggering $60 million in domestic earnings, a figure nobody, not even optimistic industry analysts, expected.
So, it got destroyed at the box office. Here's the box office numbers. The Minecraft movie made $60 million on Saturday. Snow White made 2.
Its global take, a jaw-dropping $300 million across just one weekend. Meanwhile, Snow White, barely $2 million that same Saturday. After multiple delays, a bloated marketing campaign, and more rewrites than a freshman term paper, Disney's long-hyped live-action reboot couldn't even crawl past $77 million total after weeks in theaters. It had everything Disney normally banks on: nostalgia, big budgets, and brand power. And it still flopped hard. The real kicker. Analysts assumed Minecraft would be the one to bomb. They called it too blocky, too simplistic, too niche. But as it turns out, delivering something fun and authentic beats overproduced lectures every time.
And of course, this weekend, Minecraft came out, which has absolutely dominated the box office, done significantly better than analysts even projected. And now we're finding out that Snow White has officially crossed $160 million.
The Snow White reboot was doomed long before it hit theaters. The original 1937 film wasn't just Disney's first animated feature, it was the very foundation of the Disney empire. Generations of fans adored its fairy tale magic, its charming characters, and its simple but heartfelt storytelling. But this version, from the start, Disney made it clear this wouldn't be the Snow White anyone remembered. The script went through endless rewrites, each version reportedly more focused on modern messaging than on building a compelling story. Test audiences warned that something felt off. The charm was gone. The magic replaced by moralizing monologues. Still, Disney pressed forward. They thought the brand was untouchable. Instead, they lit a match and tossed it straight into their legacy. And then, there was Rachel Zegler. A rising star best known for her role in West Side Story, Zegler became the lightning rod for the movie's collapse. From the moment she started doing press, it was clear she had a very different vision of Snow White, and one that rubbed fans the wrong way. In interview after interview, Zegler slammed the original film as weird, outdated, and broken. She mocked the love story, rolled her eyes at the idea of a prince saving the day, and promised a totally new Snow White.
No longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White.
One who doesn't dream about true love and doesn't need saving. Instead, she'd become a strong leader in her own right.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
The backlash was immediate and brutal. To fans, it felt like Disney had handed its most beloved character to someone who had no respect for the role or the story. Social media exploded with criticism, and instead of pulling her back or clarifying the message, Disney just let her keep going. Eventually, they quietly canceled her appearances on official Disney platforms. But the damage was done. Disney's biggest miscalculation wasn't just the casting or the script, it was ignoring the people who made their legacy possible, the fans. Generations of moviegoers grew up with the original Snow White, a story about kindness, hope, and classic fairy tale romance. That's what they showed up to see. Instead, they got a joyless reinterpretation stuffed with political undertones and thinly veiled contempt for the source material. It didn't feel like a magical adventure. It felt like a TED Talk in a ballgown. People didn't come for empowerment slogans. They came to escape, to feel wonder, to be reminded of childhood. The result? Empty theaters, scathing reviews, and a fanbase that felt betrayed. And while Disney was lecturing audiences about progress, the Minecraft movie was busy doing the unthinkable, respecting its fans. Minecraft, for those somehow unfamiliar, is one of the most successful games of all time, with over 300 million copies sold and a player base that spans every age group. Kids, teens, adults, all building, exploring, surviving together in blocky bliss. So when the movie dropped, it didn't try to reinvent the wheel. It didn't shame fans or talk down to them. It just delivered a wild, colorful, feel-good adventure that brought the game's charm to the big screen. Simple concept. Big payoff. Theaters were packed. Some showings turned into borderline raves with teens cheering, quoting lines, and dancing in the aisles. Cops were even called to remove Rowdy.
Battled out right now in theaters as two live-action remakes from the biggest studios in Hollywood go head-to-head. The rowdy teenagers out. The Minecraft movie is doing something magical. It's creating a live audience reaction event.
But excited moviegoers. It was chaos. The fun kind. Here's the irony. Critics panned Minecraft, giving it a mere 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. But audiences, they gave it a glowing 87%. This is the same divide we've seen growing for years. Elite reviewers pushing an agenda versus real viewers voting with their wallets. And in 2025, it's never been more obvious. Preachy movies flop. Fun movies win. At this point, Snow White isn't just a failure. It's a case study. Insiders say the studio is in full panic mode. Executives are pointing fingers. The marketing team is blamed for ignoring early warnings. The writers are blamed for gutting the heart of the story. And Rachel Zegler? She's being quietly scapegoated for it all. But here's the thing. Zegler didn't write the movie. She didn't greenlight the rewrites. Disney did. She may have poured gasoline on the fire with her interviews, but the fire was already burning. This isn't a Rachel Zegler problem. It's a Disney problem. And fans are waking up to that. Let's be clear, updating stories isn't inherently bad. Audiences aren't rejecting progress, they're rejecting bad storytelling. Every time Disney replaces heart and soul with bullet points and slogans, the result is the same, audience rejection. And Snow White is just the latest in a string of high-profile flops. Live-action Pinocchio, The Little Mermaid, even Peter Pan Wendy. These were billion-dollar brands treated like blank slates for moral lectures, and audiences are tired of it. In the end, it's almost poetic. Disney, the company that invented modern animation, just got outperformed by a movie based on virtual Legos. A giant, lumbering titan felled by a game that started as an indie coding project. The message couldn't be louder. Fans want fun, not finger-wagging. They want magic, not manifestos. And Minecraft gave them exactly that. Disney has a choice to make. Keep rewriting the classics into something unrecognizable, or listen. Respect the stories. Respect the fans. Stop hiring actors who mock the legacy they're meant to represent. And maybe, just maybe, start telling stories again, because if this trend continues, Disney won't just lose the box office, it'll lose the audience entirely. What do you think? Was Snow White doomed from the start? Did Rachel Zegler make it worse? Or is this just the latest example of Hollywood ignoring its audience? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think about this wild ride. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and stick around, because we've got a lot more chaos to unpack.